Alright guys, so just got a new phone, so I'm more or less just testing out the camera here. I know we did just do a collection video on the ball pythons, but anyway, this is Perry and Solo, my Firefly male, who produced the babies, and then this is a Spider Mojave. Once again, I'm a huge fan of anything that has fire in the combination. It's such a necessity for long-lasting color. These two both shed too, so this is perfect timing, and they're both almost the exact same size. Get your head out of there, buddy. So anyway, I'm not gonna do everybody again. I'm just gonna pull out the ones that are getting clean. Some of them are already done and put away. Try to get the little Perry logo. This is my butter female. I kept Solo in here just because she just shed too, and I wanted to just show off. I mean, this thing has no pastel or fire or anything. It's just a single gene, and personally, I think where she has color, you know, or I'm sorry, where she has yellow. Oh shit! Oh, she didn't get me. But anyway, where she has yellow, it's much brighter than his, and I mean, she's actually a little bit older than he is, I believe. So if anything, she should be more faded out, and it's all up the sides too, and all in the blushing. So it's more likely to last even longer. Like I always say, most of the browning comes in up top, all over the dorsal area, and you do with the spiders and pinstripes. Sometimes this will lighten back up, you know, but a lot of this on the sides will never get any better. This girl is the only one that'll ever try to bite me even after she's out of the cage. But yeah, just amazing color on this one. I always forget to get the breeder's name. He's at every Oak show, and I believe they're at all the Hamburg shows too. They take up almost an entire wall, but I don't believe they have a banner, so I always forget their name. So anyway, this is my male coral bow right here. As always, he's the king. He blows everybody out of the water, color-wise. But he's about a year old now, a little bit more. And here's the newborn up against him. So that's a 2-week-old pastel and a year-old coral glow. And even at a year, his colors are just amazing. So much brighter than any one of these. This is Grace, the spinner again, and I brought her out just to show you that real light stripe down the back. I mean, she obviously has a clean stripe from being a spider and pinstripe combined. It's pretty common. But the light area happens on either or. My bumblebee had it, and my adult male pinstripe had the same thing go on. Certain stages of life, it might have darkened up a little bit. My male pinstripe was pretty dark in general, but as they both got older, once they hit about the 1.5 year mark, it basically stayed just like this. And on the bumblebee, it was really white because he had kind of a grayish back, so once it lightened up, it really looked white up on the dorsal area. I don't know if it's coming through on the camera. She kind of has that like iridescent that's reflecting a lot of different colors on the dark areas. So anyway, that's it for the ball pythons for tonight, but I'm going to cover pretty much all the different species. We got a couple different new pickups, so I'm going to cover a little bit of everything, hopefully, before I run out of time. Now this little guy is so dark right now, he's got to be going in the shed. Or probably getting ready to shed any minute. But I've taken pictures of this before. I'm not sure if I've gotten this exact Oreo on any of the recordings of when I was up at Daves. But anyway, this is an Oreo African fat-tailed gecko, so this is another species. And it's also a recessive color mutation too on top of that, so pretty cool. This will be my my first one I've ever owned. And this was a gift from Dave at Daves House of Reptiles. I've been working with him a lot lately, so I'm very excited to have this thing. And I'm going to show my last one, which was also a gift, and it was basically a handful of the last geckos that Packline had up at the house. So I'm pretty excited to have it. Next on the list is my Pictus or panther gecko. This thing is one of the coolest animals I've ever owned. It just seems so smart, so much more aware than a leopard gecko. I don't know if the vision might be part of it. You know, I do have a lot of albinos and they struggle being out in the light. I try not to keep them in bright lighting, but this guy just seems to see things from so far away. He notices the cats, the TV, you know, any movement basically, no matter what the distance. He seems to be able to see it very well. I don't know what he's seeing right now, but you can just tell they I don't know, they're just a whole different personality than a leopard gecko. And he doesn't really try to escape my body. I lucked out. I mean, this thing is very tame. I would imagine they had to have handled this thing. And don't let that little tail fool you. I mean, his belly's definitely bulging like crazy right now. He must have ate about 6 crickets earlier. And that's another cool thing too. He doesn't seem very picky. They told me when I bought him, some of them don't adapt to mealworms too well. He started eating mealworms right out of the dish. The first thing I think I dropped in there was a cricket, and he ate it right away. It was either a cricket or a mealworm, and he just snatched it right up. And this morning I dumped some crickets in there, and he grabbed them. But yeah, definitely an awesome transition from the leopards. And they're definitely pretty accurate jumpers. Your leopards usually will just dive right off your hand, just straight out, like they don't care where they're gonna go. And this guy, he's more like a frog, you know. He just picks his place, and he just, you know, instantaneously leaps from one spot to another. And next thing you know, he's from your lap to your shoulder, and vice versa. He's just definitely a whole different type of gecko. Now this is really cool. This is one thing I talk about all the time, and plenty of other breeders have talked about in videos, but you don't get to see it this drastic. These two geckos, and I'll try to catch them. I mean, there's no real way of guaranteeing it, but this one right here was on the heat pad, and this one was at the front of the cage, clawing, checking me out, trying to get out. This is my original one from Josh Spears, and this one came directly from Packline. This was one of the last geckos he was holding on to. So anyway, yeah, I mean, the temperature obviously has something to do with it, because like I said, this thing was all warm and toasty, and it wasn't this dark when I brought it home last night. If anything, it looked just like her, except for some of the areas where the pattern used to be, and you could see it had kind of that circle back pattern. They were somewhat dark, but as you can see on the sides, and it might even be starting to turn right now, it has the same, whatever you want to call this, like a greenish yellow. And you can see on my Facebook, there's tons of pictures where my original girl is pretty dark. I wouldn't say she's ever looked this dark. I mean, this is definitely pretty cool to see this thing like this, but like I said, when I brought this thing home last night, I had the heater on in the car and everything, but it was probably like maybe in the 70s in the car, and she was nowhere near that dark. I just want to get these guys right up under the light. Oh crap, now they're climbing on each other. So that's going to be it for tonight. Thanks for watching as always, guys. We're somewhere around, we're up there. I remove videos and it actually removed my views. Hold on a second. So it dropped the views down, but I think we're coming up on 15,000 would be the true amount. So thank you guys so much for sticking around. It's been fun. I'm definitely trying to get some different videos and not go over the same topics too much. I do like to keep a video log of all of my babies, anything I produce or anything that's still growing. It's pretty cool to keep track of that, but other than that, I'm going to try to mix it up, and especially I should have a lot more different types of things to show off when these babies start to hatch this year. So about a week from now, hopefully we'll be at least showing some pictures, if not a video, of some radars hatching, and then shortly after that we'll get our first blood crosses, I believe about 4 days after. So within the next 2 weeks we should have our first couple clutches out on the ground. Alright, good night guys.